Hello guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to Automobilista 2. We are in beta here. This is just about to be released to the public, but right now I did speak to Reza and they gave me a bit of early access here, a chance to share some content with you. So we're here at Montreal 1991 on board the Formula High Tech. This is the probably most attention-seeking update. I would say that there's been some dramatic improvements to the sim overall, but as usual, I suspect the new content will be what dominates headlines once this update is released, and this Formula High Tech will even stand out among that crowd. So what are we talking about when we talk Formula High Tech? Well, we're talking about early 90s Formula 1, when technology on Formula 1 cars really started to spike. So you could, certainly categorize the mid-80s as still being very analog. In the late 80s, things started to pick up, but early 90s, things just got quite wild. So what we're driving here is the equivalent of the Williams FW14B, which was famously one of the most technologically rich race cars ever. So among the many features of this car is active suspension. So yes, computers controlled how the suspension reacted to the road surface. What you ended up with was an extremely balanced car. On top of that, it had launch control, it had traction control, it had ABS. So again, you're talking about a very technologically rich car. This is an era where there was various engine types. This car sported a 3.5 liter V10 engine, and quite a race car, and we now have it in AMS2. Among the other Formula High Tech class cars, we have the McLaren MP47, a lesser known McLaren of the MP4 era. Whoa. And the MP48 is the Formula High Tech Gen 2 car, most notable, and it's an officially licensed MP48. And so we have some exciting content. We also have updates to the Historic Track Pack. There's the Historic Track Pack Part 2, which includes this version, this 1991 version of Montreal, along with Barcelona and Interlagos. So, very exciting content. But maybe the best improvement to the game that I think won't grab headlines is the improvements to the AI. So you'll see me throughout this race, hopefully competing with this AI, and it's just a lot better to race against. So single player racing has taken a massive leap forward in this title. I'm just noticing my front left tire is pretty worn. I guess under all my talking I've been locking the brakes, so I gotta watch that. We got a 20-minute race on our hands here, so I can't burn my tires out too early. Don't want to have to pit. But yeah, the AI is much more consistent, much more aware of where you are, and they're less prone to ruin your race, so very cool. And by the way, the active suspension on this car that I was talking about has been fully modeled in AMS2, and it is also adjustable. It's not as if there's one setting. You can adjust it on the fly. I don't have it mapped, so I'm just using the default active suspension settings, but I did soften it slightly, as well as the anti-roll bar to help me get a bit of grip outside of, as I'm exiting the corners here in Montreal. And yeah, just a really great experience. They've done a really, really nice job with this update. And I'm excited to see the Formula High Tech. This is definitely the sim to take it on. Previously in this title, we've got cars like the, and I might blank on the name, what am I talking about here? The MP412. That is the McLaren with the famous fourth pedal. So it has the second brake pedal. That was modeled here in AMS2. Oh, double overtake here. Wow. Finally, that paid off. Long time coming. Up now into 7th of 20 cars. It says 21 cars, by the way, if you're looking in the top left corner of your screen. The safety car shows as a competing car for some reason. So that is why that number shows 21 instead of the Formula 1 standard 20 cars. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so we had the MP412. And I hope I got that model number right. With the fourth pedal, the second brake pedal, that was nicely done here in AMS2. We also had the fan car. So that was the car that famously had the big fan mounted at the back and pulled air out from under the car and helped get that ground effect. So yeah, Reza has been able to faithfully reproduce some of the most technologically odd, I want to say, but technologically advanced cars in the history of Formula One, and now we get the FW14B with its active suspension, so very cool. So if you're looking at Montreal here and thinking, wow, it's not that different from 1988, this is true. This is true, there's not a huge difference. But again, we have those other cars as well in this historic track pack part 2, which are revised layouts, older layouts of Interlagos and Barcelona. So those are great to have. And I've been kind of, I wouldn't say off AMS2 lately. I still do dabble in it, but yeah, just using it less than I used to. Not for any particular reason. I've just been mostly busy, I suppose, with EA Sports WRC and a few other things in Assetto Corsa, testing a lot of hardware. So it's great to be back. The sim feels better than ever, frankly. And I think these cars are perfect for this title. Takes advantage of what it does best, frankly. So let's see, where are we at in this race? 13 minutes to go, so not even halfway of the 20-minute race. I've been to this circuit, actually. I was at the circuit in 2022. And something that might not immediately be evident is that this is on a man-made island. This was built for the Olympics in '76, I want to say. And yeah, it's a complete man-made island. This Mobile One overpass there, I walked across that and then walked on the left here at the on the side of the water, and then hung out in the paddock area just to my left now. So very cool to sort of have on screen somewhere I've been before. The only major racetrack I've ever been to. We don't have a lot of top-level racetracks here in Canada, that's for sure. Alright, I just cannot seem to get the overtake done on this guy. I need to concentrate here, see if I can pick up some speed somewhere. You can hear the different sounds here. Reza did go back and redid the sounds of some of the cars, and I believe you can hear that the results of that here in this race. The exterior replays are where you're really going to hear it. Sounds much better, much cleaner. So yeah, they've been busy. I don't think it's the most high-profile update, but I think they've done some pretty significant improvements to things you and I would enjoy day to day. So well done, as always, to Reza. Alright, I'm going to try and be brave under braking here, see if I can close this gap. And if I can, like, move on this AI here.
Right side. One right. All clear.
It's too slow out of the corner. But hopefully you can see the improvements to the AI there. That was a good battle. Didn't last very long, but what was there was very good. Oh, I'm sliding all over the place. Suspension settings still need work. Even active suspension is not enough to overcome my weakness as a driver. How about that? It's a bit demoralizing. Alright, this should be it. I got a good feeling here. So I'm going to close the gap under braking. If I can get a decent exit out of this corner, that's good enough. Back off here.
Car on your left. Nice one. one, you're clear. Half length back. Watch your
Oh, he's right there. We got no mirrors right now.
one length behind.
Yeah, he's right there.
You've got 1-2 lengths back. Half length back.
So the AI will come back at you now.
2 lengths behind.
It's not as if as soon as you get the overtake done, you never have to think about the car again. The AI tends to come back at you now. I've done quite a few races here at Montreal. I tried Barcelona as well. I tried Interlagos. And yeah, it's cool to have these AI fights now. Just see flashes of that car behind me in my side view mirror.
Left. Okay, clear. Two lengths back.
But I should be able to pull a gap on him as soon as I get around this corner.
1 length back.
So it looks like I
2
am
lengths behind.
on a best lap pace here. So now I've got to start chasing down 5th place. Just about, what, 8 minutes? Just under 9 minutes to go in this race. So can I get top 3? I certainly hope so. It's better through that final chicane there, so I am closing the gap to the car ahead. Get that rear end figured out. Just too loose on the corner exit. So good news is 5th place and 4th place are right there. How far in front of them the next place, the podium place, is. Pass through the chicane here. Oh yeah, okay, so they're all stacked up. So I should be able to get this done before the end of the race. 7 minutes to go. Here. I want to throw away my race on a dive bomb. And that curb on the outside to the right there, that is a nasty curb. That will pull the car or push the car, depending on your perspective, right off its line. So be sure to avoid that curb when you're driving Montreal 91. I mentioned earlier that this car had launch control. I haven't had success getting it to work. I can get it to work. I can map a button, but the car just kind of lags off the start. So I'll have a look at that. I'll see if I can figure out how to do it and try and even put a tutorial together before this update goes live. We'll see.
All good. You're clear now.
All right, there we go. 5th place now. 5
1-2 lengths back.
minutes, 40 seconds to go.
1 length behind.
And this grandstand, I believe, is where Lewis Hamilton was handed the Ayrton Senna helmet. When he got the most poles all time. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's where it was. That was, I guess, 2020? 2021? I can't recall. Oh, it must have been 2021, because I don't think there was a race here in 2020, was there?
1 length back. Still there.
Oh no, what am I talking about? That was earlier.
He's 2 lengths
Anyway,
back.
this unresearched history of F1 moment brought to you by Sim Racing 604. For more uneducated history lessons, please hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe to Sim Racing 604.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy. Alright, let's go. We gotta get this done. 2 positions in just over 4 minutes, so what's that, 3 laps? Ooh, we got that McLaren MP47 now. MP47, not the, you know, it was the, I don't want to say downfall, but it was the end of the McLaren reign. I mean, that MP44 was just such an incredible car. Obviously, the MP46, last H pattern to the championship winning car, V12 engine, and then they moved on to the MP47, and yeah, just didn't have it. And, yeah, Reza has included that car along with the MP48. Oh, big lock there. Alright, this might work out timing-wise very, very well for me. Slight lift. There we go, back on the accelerator, close that gap.
You've got 1 on your left. You're clear.
The elbows out there, got that done. And you can see how clean it can be, the AI can be through those corners, even when we enter that side by side.
He's 2 lengths behind you.
But I'm not done with them yet, necessarily. I'm some 3 seconds back of the car ahead, so I'm gonna have to work hard to close that gap. But I want that podium position. On pace for a best lap at this point. But I don't really care about that. All I care about is getting that podium. I think I should get 2 more laps here, just based on the time remaining. Which is good news. Yeah, I definitely will get this lap plus 1 more. In a good striking position to start the lap. Just got to keep it together throughout the lap. Try and get them perhaps on the back straightaway, or maybe as we cross the start-finish line to enter the last lap. A 1, 2, and 3 stacked up, so if this was a 25-minute race, I could almost surely get the victory. AI is set to 95% in case you're wondering. So not particularly fast. Slow out of the corner. I don't think I'll be able to get this. Try and keep this guy in my sights. Keep it clean through the chicane here.
Watch your right.
Oh, this is deadly.
Nice, you're clear. 1 length behind.
Woo. That one felt good.
2 lengths behind.
Oh, tires are getting a little bit restless under me. So I don't think I can get this second place, but I'll push and see what I can do.
Watch your line.
Too much. Came in hot in that corner. Overcooked it. Alright, I'm gonna brake as late as possible here. One last shot. Oh, it's a fellow 14B. Oh man, even one more lap, I would have got second place. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen here. No. Alright, well, amazing update. This feels so good. And I can't wait for you guys to try it. Thank you, Reza, for allowing me to share some early content with my viewers. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.